Hey, my name is Ben Seidensticker. I do, software support work by day. I do a lot of theater and sketch comedy in the city. Look me up at Lucid Dreaming Sketch on Facebook. I do improv stuff around town. And I really like board games and video games and science fiction books, and that's who I am. I'm going to answer 10 questions, or die trying. Best vacation has probably been a sailing trip I took with some friends in college. That was super fun. Had a friend who, their family was really well off, but they were pretty generous with it, with us, I guess. And so they invited some of us along to go on a very cost-effective sailing trip around the Caribbean, which was really cool. We got to learn a bit about the sailboat, but didn't have to do a ton of manual work and just got to enjoy it with friends. My worst trip was probably, honestly, a cruise. I feel like cruises are things you should only go on with your significant other. If you go on it without them, you're just gonna be looking at people around you who are like all up in each other all the time. And you're gonna be like, why did I not plan ahead? Why am I in this position in life? You're not really gonna get the most out of it. So yeah, that was the worst vacation. Our corporate sponsor is PetSmart. So they have randomly inserted a cat into this video, and if you pay attention, you will notice it. We'll see if that pays off. I don't know. I'm sure it will. Oh God. This is less a test of which actor and more a test of do I know the names of actors? It'd be Matthew McConaughey. I think that's who I'd try and get in there. I just feel like all the ones that I know about are just getting old really quickly. So, and I think I've done most of my interesting stuff like before now. So I don't know how I'd work that in. I feel like I need to be looking for some younger actors, but we just put Matthew McConaughey, just shave him. It'll help. Like, I'm not gonna specify like maybe what needs to be shaved. Yes, shave everywhere. I feel like the things I suppress are all the like ways of, I don't know, treating other people poorly, or kind of reducing other people to like very simplistic ideas of who they are as people. I don't know, maybe I should consider those emotions, but yeah, whenever I'm just oversimplifying people, like I feel like that's what like, you know, like when you see somebody like, oh, they're hot, it's like I just really made them a lot simpler, you know, than who they are. If I really get to know them, they're probably a jerk. So like that'll really sort itself out. If I just truly get to know these people, I'm not gonna have a crush on them. I feel like those kinds of things are things I like feel like I have to suppress. I don't really get angry that much anymore. I feel like my relationship with my father kind of made me realize like, oh, like anger is not that productive or anything like that, basically. I feel like jealousy is a good, like I try and actively like work against jealousy, because that one is probably the most corrosive, because it generally reduces who you are, because you're viewing yourself as lesser, and you're seeing like life as this zero-sum thing where I need to somehow take something from someone else to get something good for myself. And yeah, I think it's like the least useful emotion, probably, jealousy. So you should get rid of it where you can, because the reality, you don't need to take anything from somebody else. Your responsibility is just make yourself better. And that's what you should be focused on. And jealousy is just distracting you from that. Oh man. What's that White Stripes song? There's only one. Seven Nation Army. That'd be really cool. I think I'm just a sucker for bass lines in general. When I started putting together playlists, I was like, oh, this would be a good song, this would be a good song. I'm like, oh, I'm just a sucker for bass lines. And then I'm living with a bassist right now. So I don't know what order those things happened in. Right now, like most of my life, I'm just being trained to only like the bass part of songs because that's all I hear. It's just her practicing, and it's just the bass part, and I just kind of forget that there's other parts of songs. Hey. I'm all about the Chipotle. I've had a lot of Chipotle in my life, but so I gotta back it up because I'm not ashamed of that. I need to find something I'm truly ashamed of. The weird thing I do at fast food is that I really hate buying the drinks there. I just feel like I was trained by a corporation to be like, you have to eat and drink at the same time. It's like, I could just eat. I don't need to also drink at the same time, but it's just more convenient for me to consume more. So that's kind of the thing that I really do a lot. I also am not ashamed of that too. So I'm gonna have to dig in. When I became vegetarian, I just stopped going to a lot of fast food, not because I was making a stance on that or anything. They were like, oh, you don't meet my needs anymore. You kind of suck. And now I go to a lot of Subway every time I see a Subway or a Chipotle or I don't know, some other ones. There's a Freebirds. Actually, there we go. We found it. Have you ever heard of Freebirds? It's a restaurant that does giant, absurdly stupid burritos. It's in Texas. You get a giant burrito that's kind of ridiculously sized that you probably shouldn't put in your body. They give you the little aluminum foil, and you make little shapes and things, and you kind of scatter this around. And I kind of really bought into all that experience. We found it. Mine would be, I think in my head I see a moon sign or something. Yeah, it'd just be here, just a giant moon. And I think it's just because then I'd be like, hey, do you want to see something kind of ridiculous on my body? And I'd lift up my shirt for no reason. But now I'd have a reason, and I could really see that in conversations. I'm only giving the right answer to all these questions. Natalie Portman has always been my celebrity crush. This has just kind of gotten conflated with my Star Wars obsession for a number of years. So that's just, I feel like that's how that kind of rolls there. Yeah. I don't know how to go into more detail there for you without getting dirty. Yeah. I'm gonna go in a contrarian fashion here and say it doesn't make bath time that much fun. I think having a rubber ducky is the kind of thing, if you have one in your bathtub, it's gonna make you take baths more often, and they're not good for you. I don't really think they are. I don't think they make you more clean. They might relax you, but is being relaxed really what you need right now? Do you just need to get clean, get a really productive, efficient shower going, and then get on with your life? Don't let him lead you astray. I really want to find out we never went to the moon. I think that'd be very interesting. I want to know why we felt like we needed to pretend to go to the moon, pretend to find things, pretend to take pictures from space, why we pretended to drop a hammer and feather at the same time. I don't know why we went to all that trouble. So that reason has to be really interesting. So yeah, I did it.
How do they feel?
I felt good. Yeah, I felt like I was being very level toned though. Just talking to this camera, it's it's listening to me.